and welcome to another episode of In Her Purpose Show, a platform where we feature female game changers who have paved the way on succeeding their goals and continue to inspire at the same time. I am your host, Mafe Yunon Velasco, and this show is really close to my heart because I'm able to learn and grow weekly with two amazing and beautiful women who are the founders and owners of In Her Purpose book and company. So honored to introduce to you all the two dynamic duo. First of all, Jen Redondo Marquez, who is a game changer herself, working in the tech world and serving as a mentor for Collective Hustle and Filipino-Americans in Silicon Valley Tech, FASTA. And of course, Rose Buado, mother of two, businesswoman, mentor to young women entrepreneurs, inspirational speaker, and the manager of the Philharmonic. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hello. And of course, ladies, it's another amazing episode. We have two beautiful guests today. And let me introduce them to everyone who's tuned in on Kumu and Facebook. Hello, guys. We have Dr. Jenny FAGEL and Dr. Kathleen Wong of the Grown Up Asia. First, let me introduce Dr. Jenny FAGEL. She is an internal medicine doctor, life coach, wife, and mother to two toddlers living in New Jersey. As a Filipina-American, she spent her whole life making sure she looked good on paper. The medical degree, a long list of extracurricular activities, and plenty of accomplishments under her belt. While thankful for her opportunities, Jenny also struggled internally with finding her true purpose. It was only after she completed her medical training and became a physician that she finally slowed down and started to look within. Jenny sought her own purpose and not anyone else's. She is now passionate about helping young American women overcome their own harsh inner critics in order to step into the shining light where they belong. Amazing. And of course, Dr. Kathleen Wong is an allergist, immunologist, and life coaching living in North Carolina. As a first-generation Chinese American, she struggled with her dual cultural identity and ability to see herself her achievements. She went to medical school, trained at two top children's hospitals, secured competitive fellowship, and landed her dream job. After a decade of medical training, she thought she had finally achieved enough to have happiness that she always wanted. So where was this promised land of happiness? It was during this period that she discovered life coaching and transformational work that would help her change her mindset, improve her relationships, and enjoy the life that she had worked so hard to create. She is now passionate about helping other young American women, professionals undergo this life-changing work to find joy in their own lives. Oh my gosh, ladies, I'm excited to meet them. So let's bring them on the studio. Let's welcome Dr. Jenny FAGEL and Dr. Kathleen Wong. Hello, ladies.
Hi, thank you for that introduction. My goodness.
We're so excited to be here. And we're so glad to have you both on. Like, such powerful, amazing. I mean, your bios alone took a long time.
I was like, oh my
God. Yes.
Thank you.
So we're excited to have you both on, and for our viewers, if you could just share a little bit about your background. I mean, you both have done so many amazing things, from going to medical school, becoming doctors, and now adding life coaches to your resume. So if you could share about your background and your journey and how you got to where you are today. We'd love to hear all about it.
So my name's Jenny, and I live in New Jersey. I'm a second generation Filipino-American. So I was born in New York. My parents immigrated here in the 70s, and I was raised in Delaware, did a lot of my education and training on the East Coast, and found myself back in Delaware for residency, and I stayed on there as an attending hospitalist until we moved here to New Jersey. So I'm here now raising my 2 kids. I have 2 daughters. They're 2 and 3 years old. They keep me very busy. And I'm also a life coach for Asian women.
Very cool.
And I'm Kathleen. I found out a 1.5 generation Chinese American. I was actually born in China. I immigrated to the States early in elementary school and grew up in Illinois, now live in North Carolina, where I'm practicing as a pediatric allergist.
Very cool. What made you guys, oh my gosh, so it's so amazing that you guys are even doctors. It's just great. What made you guys start or want to get into medicine?
So for me, I was fortunate to be around medicine my whole life. My parents are both doctors. I had a lot of influence from my family and relatives. And so it was always very common chatter, I guess, at the dinner table. And, in the Philippines, how revered it is to be in healthcare, whether it's nursing or medicine. And so I was always really interested in helping other people. And I just didn't realize that there's, more than one ways to help people and to serve people. And that was something that I discovered as a complementary thing was life coaching. And so I realized, you don't have to do one or the other. Currently right now, I am focusing on life coaching, kind of in the middle of a transition, moving to another state, and then just the disruptions from the pandemic was really difficult with childcare. I think a lot of people can understand that. So I was able to, explore this entrepreneurial side, which has been really fun with Kathleen, while also being home to raise my kids.
So I think we should also let our audience know how you two have actually never met in real life. So if you can tell the story about how you two connected and started this.
I'll start because it kind of just goes into Kathleen's part. So like I had mentioned, I was having a really difficult time earlier this year with the pandemic, like so many people, I think experienced a lot of challenges and a disruption to their, normal life. And so I was really burnt out. I was working, in outpatient primary care, getting up and seeing patients. And then all of a sudden the pandemic happened. And so life shifted, back into my house. I was doing virtual appointments with patients, trying to diagnose them based on symptoms over, just rather, like a telephone call or, through the computer. And it was really difficult along with the other kind of administrative kind of stress from medicine. And so I was getting very burnt out, and I made the decision to take a sabbatical and take a leave from medicine, which I acknowledge that not a lot of people have that privilege to be able to take a step back. For me, it was really everything. I serendipitously kind of discovered life coaching actually through Instagram. And I found a physician coach who does life coaching. She was also an internal medicine doctor, and she helped me tremendously. And it was the first time I was able to really sit back after so many years of just hustling and studying and like going from one step to the next. And so I actually pursued coach training at that time and actually started coaching medical students and residents wanting to kind of, pay it forward. And that's when I met Kathleen through my kind of medical school business and coaching business. And we always say she slid into my DMs because that's what she did. And she was just chatting me up. And that's how we became business partners, I guess, like a few months later. It's kind of like crazy.
Yeah, we always call that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kathleen.
No, go ahead, Rose.
No, we always tell people that we speak with that they shouldn't be scared about DMing people. They should just do it because you never know, they might answer. So there you go. So you guys are living proof.
I mean, yeah, we're complete proof that if you DM someone in 2 months later, you can have a thriving business.
There you go. There you go.
So that's how I found Jenny. So I actually wanted to be a pediatrician since I was a little girl. The role of being a life coach was not something I had imagined for myself. I became a doctor to help people. I wanted to be a pediatrician since I was 10 when my brother was born. But the pandemic happened, and I was just facing a lot of personal and professional challenges during the pandemic. And that's when I found life coaching, and it really helped transform my life. And I really felt called to help other people do the same. And that's when I met Jenny, is through her Instagram, because her Instagram was very focused on the concepts that we coach around. And it really resonated with me. And we also happen to have a few mutual friends. So not complete strangers.
Not complete strangers, yes.
That's so
Very cool.
Go ahead, Jen.
Oh, no, I just wanted to ask about like some of the concepts that you coach, and also what are some of the projects that you're both working on currently?
Yeah, so we coach around a lot about the topic of, it's so funny, in her purpose. I mean, really, it's like, finding purpose and fulfillment in your life. A lot of our clients, we just had a session on Sunday, and a lot of clients felt there was a common thread of people just feeling, like they're not living their true life, or they're not being their most authentic self. So that's definitely a concept that we love to coach around, and figuring out what people truly value, and, what their strengths are, how to leverage them, how to double down on their strengths and make sure that they're utilizing them every day in their life.
And in terms of projects, we're currently underway for our second coaching cohort. And we have another amazing group of women we're supporting in their journeys and their transformations. And over the next year, we're just working on expanding our services and hopefully helping other women see that change in their lives as well.
Can you talk about more about the program? Like what happens within the program? Is it a month or a 90-day program?
Yeah, so our current program right now is 6 weeks. We do plan on expanding this to 8 weeks, a 2-month program, our next round. But basically we meet every week for 75, 90 minutes. And we usually have like a teaching portion that takes up about like 15 to 20 minutes. And these are centered around the topics I mentioned: authenticity. We talk a lot about imposter syndrome and, harnessing or calming your inner critic, things like that. And then after that, we do live coaching in front of everyone. So we have volunteers, the women volunteer, and we coach them on the spot, which we find to be a really powerful environment for the other ladies to kind of sit back, allow someone else to be coached, but perhaps see themselves in other people. I
love that. That is amazing. You guys are so inspiring to all of us.
Thank you.
Especially because, we're all we're Asian here, and not everybody. Like other cultures, they do this, and we do not have a platform like this. And I love that you guys are starting this, and you guys are really going with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're servicing people and your resources to others, and that's exactly what In Her Purpose is about as well. And I just love that we're collaborating and that we're working together with this. So can you tell me, like, are you guys now, do you guys find that you guys are in purpose, and are you guys living it? And can you tell us or give us any tips or advice to other women who are trying to pivot the way you guys did?
Yeah, I can start. I think that I am definitely in my purpose right now. I think, we had alluded to it a little bit in the introduction, but I did feel for a long time like I wasn't living my purpose, even though on the outside, I had checked all the boxes. That's something that we always say. You check all the grown-up boxes, right? Of like getting the degree, and now you have a house, now you have kids and a family, and all those things are amazing. But I also have found that if you're not living in alignment with what you truly value. And sometimes that takes time, to sit back and figure it out and realize that you can change. What I might have been wanting to work towards and my goals might have been different, right, at 18 where it is now at 36. And it's okay to acknowledge that and release that guilt of having to be perfect all the time and having, to have that packaged answer. So it has been really eye-opening for me, life coaching, and also being more accepting and giving myself grace. I think I was always really hard on myself to look a certain way and have the accomplishments under my belt for my family and my parents and my relatives. And I feel like now I'm truly living for myself first and foremost.
I love that. I love that you just to say that you're living for yourself, that's just amazing. How about you, Kathleen?
Yeah, I feel like I feel very much like I'm in line with my purpose. I think my purpose is to make others feel empowered. And I did this as a doctor and as an advisor to my trainees before, but I really feel like I'm now doing it in my role as like a coach, as well as to my family and to my friends. Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm living in my purpose.
Very cool. Any words of advice to other people or other women who want to start living in their purpose?
So one thing that we always say is that you are the expert of your own life. So even as coaches, we don't dispense, it's not in our natural tendency to sit here and dispense advice because we don't really know the nuances and the intricacies of your own life and the circumstances in your life that only you would know. So it's really, like Kathleen said, to empower people to look within, trust that gut feeling that you have. And, if you need help getting there, that's what we're here for.
Very cool. So is there anything that you want to tell the people who are looking to sign up for your guys' courses? Anything you guys want to plug? Where can we find you?
Go ahead, Kathleen.
Okay, so we are enrolling for our next group coaching, which will start late January of 2021 or early February of 2021. So if you're interested, you can find us on our Instagram at The Grown Up Asian or our website, thegrownupasian.com, where you can schedule a free call with us to see if life coaching is the right fit for you and whether our services may benefit you. And Jenny, anything else to add?
Yeah, I would just say take advantage of that free call. I mean, we have a lot of fun doing it. It's a great way to meet people, and there's no pressure, no strings attached. We just we love to demonstrate what coaching is, and so that's what it is. We'll just dive in right from the beginning, do a little bit of chit chat and exchange pleasantries at the start, but really it's about coaching. And at the end of it, if you get something from it, that's awesome. If not, it's okay.
Very cool. I feel like I want to learn more. I don't know about you, Jen, or not.
Schedule your call.
I want to learn more about the program. Like, I want to tell people, so how do they feel before they go into the program? What do you think?
Well, okay, so I will tell you one thing. Kathleen, if you get on a discovery call with Kathleen, all of her clients cry. So it's a lot of crying with Kathleen. I haven't had too many people cry with me. I think my approach might be a little bit more lighthearted. So it just kind of depends on what you want. But it's a nice balance, right, to have both of us during the group sessions. And we've found, it's just been so transformative. I can't emphasize that enough. The women are just so open and vulnerable and really love to share. I think at first, everyone's kind of trying to feel the temperature of the room, like what people's personalities are like. But for the most part, I think everyone has been very open and eager to share their experiences. And it means so much knowing that the other people around them have experienced very similar things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is like the best time to do life coaching, because we are in this pandemic and people are, somebody might look like they're okay, but really inside, it's hard. It's a hard situation to be in.
Yeah, and I will say the pandemic has brought it has obviously devastating effects for everyone, but it also has kind of brought a sense of wanting to clarify. Clarity is needed, I think, at times like this, when you see such devastation around the world and you wonder, what's my legacy going to be? If I was gone tomorrow, what am I leaving behind my kids and the world around me? And so I think people are eager for this type of change and transformation. I also think being back in your home and kind of forced to interact with people a little bit more. I'm seeing we're seeing a lot more strain in relationships. And that's something that Kathleen really loves to coach on too. Maybe you can speak to that, but she's so good at coaching around relationships and really having the tools to have less conflict with the people you care about.
Yeah, I actually heard that. I don't know did you hear that statistic that I think married couples are like fighting even more during this time?
So the fact I'm married, I think that I would attest to that. I would agree with that statistic. I don't know. What about you, Kathleen?
Yeah, same here. I'm also married. My husband works from home. And then at the beginning of the pandemic, I ended up working from home too. And so shoving two people in a 700 square feet, 1-bedroom apartment has its challenges for sure.
Yeah, but what's funny is that like my husband, I think Kathleen, your husband says this to you too, right? So now that we're both like into coaching, if we like start fighting, he'll be like, well, why don't you just go coach yourself about that? I'm like, okay, easy.
That's funny.
Well,
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because I feel the positive aura, the strength that all of you ladies are, sharing with everyone right now. What is like your biggest challenge? Of course, you're servicing people, you're helping them, and we're also humans, we're also women. So when you have that moment where you're about to coach someone, but you're also not okay, how do you snap yourself back and say, I just have to do this. I have to be okay.
I think it's okay to acknowledge, that, you're not perfect. And I've said that before, coaching people. I think it's okay to be vulnerable. And I think that our clients glean a lot from that. Just seeing your human side. I know, as a physician, I'm sure Kathleen, you can relate. That's what was, I think, one of the biggest things that caused people to burn out is just this idea that you're supposed to be a superhuman or like a hero all the time as a doctor. I think it's the same for anyone. So just taking that second to just pause and realize that you're also human is okay, and to accept that.
And I think it does help that with the tools we have with coaching, that when we're in a moment like that, we do find ourselves coaching ourselves through it. And so having those tools is really helpful for ourselves.
Yeah, that's something I would want to add too, is that a lot of people think that just because we're life coaches that we don't have conflict or we don't have times where we, get emotional or we have our own inner critic in our mind. But that's what's so wonderful is having a support system like Kathleen. I can just we coach each other all the time. Like, I'll just be like, oh my gosh, this just happened. Like, what do you think? It's nice to just have that objective viewpoint of someone that's like not in your head, right? And not like spiraling emotionally, to be like, okay, well, what do you think about this? Have you looked about it this way? I mean, yeah, it's great. I mean, it's nice having a lifeline like Kathleen really at my beck and call, which is awesome.
Very cool. I have Jen for that.
Yeah, I love that. That's so great.
I have all of you now. But is there any other?
How do you guys?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a couple. Like, so one is like, how do you balance everything? Like, you're both wives, you're a mom, Jenny, and then you are doctors. And I mean, this is a pandemic, so like, I mean, I just can't imagine like how you are feeling.
Yeah. So one of the things that I really like to do, and I've noticed this about myself, is that I get very overwhelmed with like too much electronic consumption or social media consumption or news. Even like when the election was going on and there wasn't a winner declared for a while, I was always on my phone. I was like checking it nonstop, like who's the president? And I was just like, really anxious and really stressed out. And so something I try to do, it's not perfect every day, but I really try to limit my phone consumption. Some days are better than others. But, you know, I try to be as present as I can, because I notice, you know, when I'm not and I'm on my phone or if I'm on my computer, my kids just freak out. I think, you know, other moms out there can understand that with young kids. Like, you need to they want your attention like 24/7. And so I really do try to be present with my husband and my kids, and they know too. You know, they'll be like, no phone at the dinner table, and like keep reminding me little things like that. So that's one way I just try to carve out time for myself. I also meditate here and there. It's not a daily habit yet. I'm working on it. But even if it's just a couple minutes of just grounding myself in the morning, that's something that helps me and carries me through the day.
Yeah, I'm very similar to Jenny. Like Jenny, I've been more intentional about my social media and news consumption. And so what I've been doing recently is when I get up, I don't check social media or the news. I try to wait until noon. That makes me feel the best during the day. And also I've been very intentional about putting away my phone when I'm spending time with my husband. So have you heard of this term like fubbing? Like, it's a cross between phone and snubbing. So it's the idea that like you have two people together, and instead of interacting with each other, they're both on their phones. So it's like phone snubbing. Like back when people used to go to restaurants, you know, you would see two people having dinner, but instead of conversing, they were like on the phone. So during meals, we'll put our phone away. When we're watching TV or doing something else, we'll make a point to put our phone away. And I think that's been really helpful to feel centered. And then like Jenny, I'm like very centered in my daily routine. So I like to journal in the morning. I like to meditate. I like to go out and work out. And those things all make me feel a little bit more balanced despite everything else going on.
Awesome. Okay. I learned a new word, fubbing.
Yeah.
That's here.
Have you both seen that documentary on social media? I think it's called like Social Dilemma.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I find it really, so I have like this love and hate relationship with social media. I love it because, you know, it obviously connects people. It's how I found Kathleen and how I've connected with you and other women entrepreneurs out there. But at the same time, it can be really draining. And it's hard to balance that. I'm just going to be real. Like, I think even from a like a business standpoint, you know, you need to be on there engaging and posting and like being consistent. But then at the same time, it's just really difficult to like keep up with it all. I don't know. How do you guys do it? How are you guys doing it?
We're a team, you know. Yeah. We all like for December, we're taking turns posting. So this is my week. Rose actually it's me. Mafe goes next week, and then after that it's Rose. It's
really just nice. Actually, we should do that.
Yeah, it really just takes like the ease off of us, where, you know, we're not the only ones that are doing it. And then, you know, we have a team like Mafe and her team have been really great about like creating all the art assets and creating like this fabulous this background.
Yeah, this is so nice.
Yeah, so we have a team, and then we.
But you're right about the overload on gadget.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
but
and
then,
we also. Oh, go ahead, Jen.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we have a team that we love to connect with others. So if you guys want, we can connect you with Rihanna and Mafe now.
Yeah.
You can totally work with them, and I don't know, we can all collaborate that way.
I would love that. That would be so great.
Yeah, so we just want to be resources. So whatever we can do to help. Mafe,
thank you.
Thank you.
Rihanna's here. You haven't met. I don't think you've met Rihanna yet, but you'll meet her later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rihanna does our Monday Munchies, so we have like a bunch of women in our book who are in like the food industry. So they've been like doing like a cooking series every Monday. So Rihanna is the one that's been cooking, because I don't know if you saw Rose and I trying to make waffles like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. No, I'll have to watch that. Me and Kathleen love to cook too. I think Kathleen, you like to bake also, right? You're a big baker.
Yeah, I'm a baker. I like the science, not the art. Like, I like things to be exact.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite. I like to just throw things in there and see what happens.
That makes you guys a team. That makes you guys a really good team.
Yeah. I need to measure.
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
And that's it's in life. She's very meticulous, very analytical.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jen is?
Yeah. I mean, because I work in the tech field, so
yeah,
I'm
you have to be, right?
Engineers every day, so their minds are very like logical, and you can't talk to them about like art or something like nothing in the gray space. It's like A or B, and that is it. You can't argue with them if it's not science. So
you'd be a good baker too.
Yeah, definitely. I stick to baking. I stay in my lane.
Yeah.
Cooking is not really my thing. So
I love it.
But one of the other questions while you were both talking that I had, like being in an Asian family, like what did your parents say when you told them that you wanted to be a life coach? Because they probably don't even know what the heck that is. And like, were they afraid that like, oh my goodness, are you quitting being a doctor?
Yeah, like, Kathleen, you can answer, because you recently told your parents, right?
This is I think it's really funny. Maybe it's not funny to everyone, but I didn't tell my parents I was a life coach until recently, nor that I had a business until I think like 2 weeks ago. And I had we do this to ourselves all the time. I had this whole story in my head about how they were going to react, right? Like, are you going to quit medicine? Like, what are you doing with your time? You shouldn't be working that much. Relax. You should be working towards like a promotion at work, all those things. And then I told my dad like 2 weeks ago, he's like, oh, that's so great. You're helping people. I was like, what is going on? Who kidnapped my dad? And who is that for you? And so he thinks it's really great, which sometimes they can surprise you. Jenny, what about you?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I think initially my dad was like, very suspicious of Kathleen. He was just like, why do you need her? I don't know. I don't know if that's just him or just like that Asian mentality maybe of like scarcity, or I don't know. I don't find like them to be that open about like collaboration and like connection, just like old school. But since we've been doing it and it's been fun and successful so far, they're like super into it. I was like telling them that I was going on this podcast. My mom's like vibering people in the Philippines, like all my relatives in Manila. She's like, send me the link to put on Facebook. I'm like, okay. So if any of my titas are watching, hello. But yeah, it's really, they're supportive of it, which is nice. It's really good.
That's awesome. It's rare, like I I wanted to be a doctor as a kid, and my mom is a nurse, and she basically stopped me and said, "No, I will not allow you to go to medical school unless you go to nursing school first."
Oh, wow.
So that she's like, you need a backup. She goes, because it's so long and you might not finish, right? That was like her first thing. And the second, she basically said, like, you want to have a life. Like, if you're a nurse, you only work 3 days a week. And so she just was like really afraid for my life, I guess. You know, she's like, I don't want
afraid for your life. I know. I feel like Asian parenting is really rooted in fear. A lot of times it's like this, like, I don't know, just like a fear of, like not finishing. I always heard that too. It's like, you got to get the degree. I mean, I understand where they're coming from because it worked for them, right? And it was what allowed them to come over here. But you also want to just be like, well, things are different and there's a different context and I'm a totally different person than you. So,
and when I told them that I didn't want to be a nurse, like it was the scariest thing in the whole wide world. You know, I was like, I don't want to go to bio. I don't want to become a nurse.
Yeah.
And I waited. Oh my gosh, it was just kind of like, what are you going to do? It's not stable. You're going to get laid off all the time. Like, are you going to make money? Is there even money in that? Just a whole lot of not very supportive until, I mean, like Rose and I are one of the few in our family. Oh, we're cousins, by the way. Rose and I are cousins.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we didn't know that. That's awesome.
Oh, I love that. Yay, family.
So our family is a lot of like medical field folks, and so we're like two of the few in the family that are not, and so
that's awesome.
We gravitate towards each other because we get each other.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and it is really hard. I just want to acknowledge how hard it is to kind of forge your own path, right? When like everyone is doing the same thing and you like hear how, you know, all the chismes, like what the gossip is from the titas. And so it's hard. It's just really hard to do that. So it's awesome what you guys are doing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is.
And it's even more awesome what you guys are doing as, service providers.
Thank you.
Normally you're face to face. Now you're really touching hearts. You're, feeding the emotions, positive emotions that people need right now. So, wow, bow to you guys. So much respect. I'm so inspired. You brought life coaching to another level because I know, the ladies that I'm on the stream with right now, guys, are just so inspiring. So please follow them all. As you can see, we have our doctoras. Sorry, that's how
love that.
Dr. Jenny and Dr. Kathleen from the Grown Up Asian. And of course, you have your In Her Purpose ladies, Jen and Rose. Is there any other questions that we want to get to know from Jenny and Kathleen? Jen and Rose? We have two Jennies. Well, Jen.
I know.
I just noticed that.
I don't have any more questions, but I just want to tell you guys are so amazing. But I do have an announcement, if that's okay.
Yeah.
We are, so because of Jenny and Kathleen, the Grown Up Asians, we now have a gift certificate online at our marketplace, which is at ihpshop.com. So you can go ahead and grab a gift certificate for yourself or for anybody that you may think might need life coaching, or just to speak with our doctors here. You can find them on ihpshop.com and check out one of their gift certificates. And there's a promo on there, so it's only gonna last limited time. So
yeah,
grab it, guys.
Snag yours now.
It's a great Christmas gift to your loved ones or your friends, even if you feel like they don't need the support, but you just never know.
You never know. You never know. It's so true. We've had a lot of clients that are like, oh, I didn't know I needed life coaching. And then I'm so glad that I made this call with you. So it's just been really great to be able to help other people.
And
super amazing.
Let's be real. No one needs another like Instant Pot, right? Or like what we say, a weighted blanket. Like, this is a great gift. Air fryer, yes.
Check. Have it all.
Check. Yeah.
2021 is all about self-care and, taking care of your inner self. So we need to do this.
Yes.
I'm so excited for 2021 because I believe that there's more collaborations that these ladies will do. So keep updated on In Her Purpose, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the website. And of course, the Growing Up Asian, their social media. We're manifesting to collaborate and partner with them so that you guys all over the world can meet and be inspired by these ladies, because there's so many people out there that you guys need to touch their lives. And I think it was said to me just recently that there's many slices of the pie. So we need more life coaching. We need more inspiring individuals to share this knowledge, to share this, virtual hugs and kisses.
Oh, I love
That's what I always say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But yes, Jenny and Kathleen, you want to say shout outs or hellos to your family and friends who are tuning in right now?
Yeah, I wanted to say hi to all my family and relatives in the Philippines. I hope you're watching. And I just wanted to thank you guys really for having us. We had so much fun. I can't wait to collaborate more in the future. I just think that our visions and our missions really align. And so I'm just so thankful to have met you guys. Really, thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you so much for having us on.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. This will be like the end of our live on Facebook, but we will hop on Kumu afterwards to say hi to some of the people that have been tuning in, but you haven't been able to see the comments. So,
yes, everyone on Kumu, on Facebook, and I hope you can tune in our next episode. I believe it will be our finale for 2020, but 2021 we have many more inspiring guests that we will have on In Her Purpose show. So thank you again, Jenny and Kathleen, for joining us in this episode. And Jen and Rose, would you like to plug again what we have in store in Her Purpose shop?
Go ahead, Dan.
Yes, so for the holidays, we have ihpshop.com, where we're featuring all women-owned businesses. So please support the women in our shop. The shop is up until December 20th, so you have a few more days to get your shopping on. And you can also find our book on our website as well as on Amazon. So happy shopping, y'all.
Yes.
Love it.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
See you all next week. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Bye.